prayer is not prayer until you have acknowledged this. The kingdom of God is within me. And if I mount up to heaven, the kingdom of God is within me. If temporarily I am making my bed in some kind of hell, the kingdom of God is within me. If I am walking through the valley of the shadow of death, the kingdom of God is within me. Wherever I am, whatever I am doing, the kingdom of God is within me. And the beautiful part of this is that when we acknowledge this, if we are in sin, the presence of God removes the sin and the penalty for the sin. If we are walking through the valley of the shadow of death, when we make this acknowledgement, the recognition of the presence of God dispels the disease, dissolves the disease. In other words, we do not first get good in order to get God. We do not first get healthy in order to get God. How many times have some of us been guilty of saying, oh, when the pain stops, I can give more time to finding God. When I do not have quite so many financial difficulties, I can give more time to finding God. If only I could see, I could read and find God, all of which is nonsense. Find God and the blind will open their eyes. Find God and the disease will be healed. Find God and the poor will be affluent. Find God first. But to find God, prepare yourself. Because there is no way to attain the realization of God without first fitting yourself, making yourself a fitting temple to receive God. And this doesn't mean first get healthy and first get wealthy or first get pure. Doesn't mean that. To prepare yourself means to understand how to receive God in your consciousness. And the way to receive God is to open your ear. Speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. Right now, whether I'm in sin or whether I'm in disease or whether I'm in poverty, let me hear this still small voice. Let me be receptive when I'm riding on the bus or in the car. Let me be receptive when I'm doing housework or marketing. Let me always have one area of consciousness in which I'm receptive to that still small voice. This is a preparation for receiving God. Another preparation is living the constant life of forgiveness. Father, I do not pray that our enemies be destroyed. I pray that they be forgiven. They know not what they do. Father, I pray not that my personal enemies be destroyed or removed, but that thy grace fill their heart. Thy forgiveness touch their lives. This, you see, is a preparation for receiving God, and incidentally, this is all prayer. All prayer, and yet without an asking for anything for me, without a seeking for anything for me. This is the life of prayer. I can well afford to leave myself out of the picture if I'm preparing the way for God to enter my particular picture. The entrance of God into my consciousness changes my life. Therefore, all attention must be given to preparation for receiving God in the holy temple, which I really am. Knowest thou not? Thou art the temple of God. Do you not realize that your body is the temple of God? Then make it a fit place for God to enter, not by worrying about its health, but by being concerned always for keeping that attitude of receptivity, of listening, by keeping the attitude of prayer, of praying, of forgiveness, and above all, of living almost constantly as if these hands were outstretched and we had the world inside. This really is an attitude of prayer and an altitude at once that goes far beyond what you can dream. It really is, you know what I'm seeing? The Master at Jerusalem. O Jerusalem, I would take you under my wings. I would have you here under my arms, but ye would not. And so it is that this would be an attitude, the very attitude of the Master at Jerusalem. O Jerusalem, only we'll address it to the whole world. O world, I take you into my arms, that God's grace may touch you. God's love heal you. God's benediction rest upon you. This is an attitude of prayer and an altitude.